Hello, this training is for the second generation of the InOne design tool, and it is intended only for the ones that are familiar with the previous release of the design tool, as I will only cover the new features and the changes. For the ones that have not used the InOne design tool before, please watch the full training video for the second generation design tool. So let's look at the screen here together. You will see that the look is a little bit fresher and that we have two color codes. The blue is for the active InOne, the one that you're most probably familiar with, and the green one is for the new InOne passive system. And the InOne passive system very briefly differs that it's only point-to-point and there is no voltage regulators in the hand, which is a simpler system but extremely effective in some environments. Apart from the color coding, blue for the active and green for the passive, you see that all the nodes have a prefix of A for active before the names and the HDN, and in the passive system has a prefix of P for passive. So it's the prefix and the color that distinguishes active from passive. You also notice that we have a login now, and this login is not open for our customers and partners yet. It just allows you to save your design on our system. For our customers and partners, you save your designs by file, download the design and upload it. This is a security feature that Hexatronic, we never keep the data of your design. You save it on your local computer and you protect the data in the normal way that you do. And now the export to generate bill of material, the reports is up here in the menu. So you have a new look, new color. We added the passive system. So let's start quickly with the new design. All right, so when I right click, and you notice that when I right click, you see a blue flash, and when I left click, you see a red flash, so you follow what I'm doing. Now you have an option of an active system and a passive system. So let's start with the passive system, give it a name. So probably this is the north side. We do that. I add a hand as usual, give it a name, A1, cable length 200 meters, and overall power is, let's say, 80 watts. So this is as it used to be, apart from the color. A new feature is to duplicate, and duplicate will duplicate the distance and the load. And this is, in many cases, it's the same hand that you are adding. You can come and edit them, of course. So I can come here and edit this. This is not 80, this is 90. And I can give this a name. So this is like A6 in this case. And if you duplicate again from this hand, for example, so you see it hid a little bit under that one. So you can move the one on top and bring the other one here. So wherever you press duplicate, it will duplicate from that point, and then you need to move them. We have an overload, so as you know from before, we just move to a bigger cable and we get rid of the overload. Now to add a passive system, there is only one power supply, so let's give it a name. And now we add a hand. We only have two types of passive hands, and watch the passive system tutorial to learn more. It's the same cables between the between the active and the passive system. So let's give this a name, and the power load as usual. Here there is a new input that you need to put in the passive system. There is no voltage regulator, so we are not taking care of the voltage regulation. The voltage will drop over distance. So we ask you, what's the minimum device voltage? So if you're using an industrial switch or a media converter, you can look at the specs. Most probably it is 48, but some switches, if they have PoE++, they might require 53. Other switches that have voltage boost might accept voltages that are lower than 48. So you see here that the maximum distance, remember, for the cable you selected, for the load that you have provided, and the minimum voltage is 650. If it's a different switch that requires 53, then it is less, it's 418. If it's a switch with a voltage boost function, 36, it's 974. Because there is, again, because there is no voltage regulator, you have to rely on this. Read the specs well on your media converter or switch or whatever is the device. And then you can reach maximum distance of 974 meters, but what's your actual? It is, let's say, 300 meters, because it will use this to calculate the load on the power supply and to calculate your bill of material. So it's important that you put your actual distance. So let's move this here, add another one. Let's pick a P10 this time. Let's pick the smallest cable, give it any numbers. It's just a tutorial. 48, maximum distance is 570, so I put 400 because this is what I need. You need, after you add them, you need to move them so you have good clarity on them. And you notice that in the passive system, if you cannot add another hand here, it's point to point. So you cannot daisy chain them as the active. So this is the end of the tutorial. If you have any questions, please get in touch with us. We will update the user guide and the HDN guides, the hand guides, all the cable, the product selectors that are in the footer. Give us any feedback, and thank you so much.